Big Lee, what's up?
Not much, not much, not much. I just
Well,
picked up the wife, said, get out of work now. I got podcasts to do. I had to stuff a couple of Krispy Kremes down my throat, and here I am.
what does your wife do?
She's a dealer of death. She manages a tobacco store and that, so she sells cancer to people.
Manages a tobacco store. Like
it's like a tobacco. They sell lottery tickets. They sell gifts and knives, and one of those type of stores.
Oh, and she's a manager there?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And so you're home just collecting money from sponsors and endorsements, and she's out busting her ass.
she doesn't need to work, but she likes to work. Don't you, honey? He said, you're out busting your ass while I'm just collecting sponsor money. I said, you don't have to work, but you choose to. That's right. So shut up complaining about your job.
All right. Well, this is Anabolic Academy. Lee does this with me pretty much every week at this point. We are waiting for our special guest, Joey Stax. I just messaged him, and there he is, actually. He's coming on right now. And let's just pop him on. Here we go. Stax.
What's up, baby?
What's up, dude? What's going on?
What's up, Lee? How you doing, man?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man. Blessed, man. Blessed. Just got home from the gym.
Stax, check it out. You see the shirt I got?
Let's go. Yeah, it's clean. I got the new ones.
There we go. Very nice. I got to get me one of those.
My man. Heck yeah, man.
All right. So how's the baby? You had a newborn. How's the baby doing?
Oh, he's doing good, man. He's 3 weeks tomorrow.
Wow, nice. How's your wife feeling?
She's good. She's up moving around now. I've been here playing super dad, man. So I got 5 kids. So I'm here with all of them running around.
How many boys, girls?
3 boys and 2 girls.
Very nice. All right, cool.
This one's a boy. So
very cool. All right.
I got one daughter's enough. That was enough trouble for me.
They would keep me out of trouble, man. The kids. Once my son started getting older, he was good to take care of himself or, be with grandma. I started stepping out at night, going and hanging out and doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah. But that's all right, man. We all
you always know it's bad when in the back of your mind you think, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
It was that. It's that Dave Chappelle skit where he says, if you go to the ATM at 4 o'clock in the morning, there should be a screen that pops up and it goes, come on, man. Do you really? Anyway.
Who needs ATMs then? They can just do the mobile transfer from your phone. And then it's the next day you wake up and look at your account and go, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
You sell somebody $400.
So this is Anabolic Academy. People send questions. I got Instagram questions, and Lee Priest and Joey Stax are going to help answer some questions. And then as we're doing this, people are going to throw us some questions on the live stream. And that's about it. Other than that, I only have about a handful of questions. So we'll
ask Joey. Now, people always ask me. I'll ask Joey. What was your very first tattoo?
Oh, man. I think I was 13 years old, and I got my last name across my back, and it was probably, this big. And as I got older, the tattoo stayed in the middle of my back. It was all crooked, and it was all, and it used to take up my whole back. You know what I mean? My whole shoulders. Mm-hmm. And now my back's about 3 times the size as it was before. So I ended up covering it up, man. It was my last name on my back, and now I'm just one big tattoo.
I know. I sort of know the feeling. After my first one, I went with Chris Cormier and that to get one, and Sean Davies, who sadly passed away. And after my first one, I said, that's it. Never get another one. Famous last words. I go to England, doing a seminar. You run into people. I've got a tattoo shop. Come get a tattoo. So my 2 weeks in England, I was pretty much in pain because every day I was getting a tattoo. So you're walking around like, oh, fucking hell.
Swollen everywhere. Yeah.
That's actually a good question. Do you ever pay for any of your tattoos? Since you're Lee Priest, people probably just want to tattoo you.
I think I've paid for 1 or 2, but majority of them they do for free. So I've been lucky that way. So
Same.
But I think as I get older now, I must be getting more of a pussy because when I was younger, they didn't seem to hurt as much. Now when I get them, I'm like, fuck this shit.
Hey, I'm telling you, same
like,
thing,
what
man.
the fuck? Like I was getting my fingers done like last year, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is fucking. Next day, your hand looks like a fucking
swollen. Yeah, I got my whole hands.
Really? Because I was actually thinking about getting a tattoo on my top of my hand.
My ribs didn't. People always said your ribs were bad, but I didn't find my ribs. It just sort of tickled. Your back wasn't bad, but the fingers, I found my fingers were the worst for some reason.
Yeah, I've had the kneecaps, the back of your knees, like in that.
Heard the top of your feet. Top of your feet are meant to be pretty sensitive too.
Yeah, I have not done those. I don't think I'll ever get
The
into
top of your. What the hell do you have on the top of your feet?
I don't have anything there, but I've heard it's bad.
Yeah. I've heard the same thing. Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
I got them in regular spots. I got them on my forearms. I have one here.
So your shoulders and your arms, man, that's cake work. You sit there for 8 to 10 hours and just take that.
And even the face, people thought that the face would hurt, but because your face is in the sun a lot, I think your skin's tougher. Yeah, only like around this part here in the eye, and that every time they got here, like they had to keep stopping because fuck, it makes you sneeze. There's like nerves. Every time they start, I'm like, it's like, oh fuck, I don't want you to slip with the needle and fucking go in my eye.
Yeah, that's close too, man. I don't have anything that close on my face, but I have the whole sides of my head, the whole back of my head is done. And
but the funny thing was when I had over my eyelid done, because my friend was having a tattoo, and like he's meant to be this big muscular guy, but he's a fucking wimp when it comes to tattoos. And he was complaining that much. The guy said, look, just fuck off, Lee. Do you want something so I can give him a break? I said, I like the tattoo to go over my eyelid. He's like, we can do that. So he's doing it. I get it done. I leave and go to the toilet, comes back, and he's telling my mate, fuck, Lee's brave doing that. My mate's getting all pissed off, like, why is he brave? Why is he brave? And he says to my mate, doing the eyelid, you can go blind. I'm like, you didn't fucking tell me that before you fucking started.
yeah. The fucking asshole.
I said,
Joe,
I'll go blind. I wouldn't have had it done.
Joe Wiz wants to know what happened to your Instagram, but you got a new Instagram now, right?
Yeah. So, man, honestly, I can't tell you what happened. It's these people you get into like YouTube battles. You remember that thing that went on with Mike and that guy he pushed a while back?
Oh, yeah.
So basically, I came out and I talked about that because me and Mike had exchanged words before. And he had a whole different type of energy with me at the expo.
Right, I remember that.
So yeah, like I made a comment about it. I'm not gonna lie, man. After all that stuff with Mike, I've kind of stepped out of the way a little bit. We talked about that.
Yeah.
On one of your. So I opened my mouth and said some stuff about Mike, and the next thing you know, I don't know if it was him or Wes Watson but somebody paid somebody to ban my account. And it has like, I don't know if you're familiar with how all that works, but they put a note up in your account that tells them do not, unlock this page. So basically when a Facebook or Meta representative goes to look up your account to unlock it for 2, 3, 4,000, whatever they charge, it says don't do it. So they won't even take it unless it's like 8. The cheapest deal I ever got was $8,000, man.
Jesus.
And I said, fuck that Instagram. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Just start over. Fuck that shit.
I'm on my third one because I've, just being outspoken. You just speak your mind.
100%.
Instagram fucking deleted me twice. It's like, then you got to start again just from, like you said, little bitches complain and this is offensive. This is triggering. It's like, then don't follow me, cunt. If it's so upsetting, you follow me. It's like,
even if it goes
just to talk shit.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't go against Instagram's guidelines.
So it doesn't really matter when you pay a rep. It's like, say they have people now, man, that will take big amounts of money and just go shut your account down. Damn. One guy's like, man, I could get it back for $15,000. I'm like, 15? What? I had one for 8. Yeah. I mean, it's never a guarantee, man. So for me, if it's not a guarantee, why the fuck am I going to pay you the money for it? Like,
fuck that.
I tell people like Instagram to me, I mean, it does make me money, but if you want to get in touch with me, you'll get in touch with me on 18,000 followers or you'll get in touch with me with 1.2 million. It doesn't matter. It's still the same me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I messaged you through the Stax Army Instagram.
Yeah.
Which
so that's
is
my page.
Yeah.
I had someone abusing me on YouTube today because on that Nick DiPolo show or one other thing I can't. No, it's actually on your last show or something in the comment section. Have a look, and people like, Lee, you're such a dick, whatever. You don't see Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman carrying on like you. That's why they have over 1 million followers and you don't have that many. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how many followers I have. I don't. It's like, I'm not on here for followers. I'm on here to entertain myself. And if people want to join in, that's fine. But I'm not here to be like, oh, look how many fucking followers I have. It's like, fuck, I got more of a life.
Keep it real, man. Nowadays, it sucks to say, but you could buy likes, you could buy followers, you could buy views, you could buy comments. So you have people that are a fucking nobody, and they're over here with 1 million fucking followers, and they're you know, doing all these fucking likes and all this. But you can stand right next to the motherfucker at an expo and nobody knows who you are. You know what I mean?
I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm buying any.
I know Chris Bumstead's popular and that sort of thing, but I still wonder, are all of his followers actual followers, or have they brought some? Because when you've got more followers than some of the biggest movie stars in the world, and that, I'm thinking, yeah, Classic's good, and a lot of people follow Classic.
Chris has that likable personality, man. He's got that sensitive, soft-spoken for the girls that, you know, like him, and so he gets a lot of different diversified people, man. Like, you know, he always was the nice guy. He never really came off as, you know, everybody else kind of has their own personality.
It always blew me away how popular he was because, you know, like you said, he's got a very soft personality. There's nothing motivating about him. There's nothing like fun about him. And then even if you watch him work out, it's very slow and methodical.
I got nothing against the guy. I just didn't know he had the lisp, you know? And then he had the lisp, and I'm like, this guy's fucking around right now. I thought he was joking. And then his supplements are actually named like with the lisp. Like it's fucking hilarious. I think it's hilarious.
You know what I should do is I should get a note from my doctor saying I have Tourette's. So every time I'm on Instagram and go, fucking cunt, fucking cunt.
Yeah.
They can't ban me because
you gotta let that go.
If obesity can be a disease, then I have a fucking Tourette's disease.
Hey, it's funny you say that, Lee, because my account got banned before for telling somebody obesity is real. And they banned my account for that same shit. Just for saying obesity is real.
No shit, it's real.
On my last account, I got a fucking warning. I went to post and nothing was happening. Then it comes up. You have this warning. I went to have a look what it was. I called someone a clown and put the clown emoji, and Instagram told me that was hate speech.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, no, I use the clown all the time. I'm gonna have to stop using that.
Yeah, they told me it was hate speech. But I think a lot of times too, the last 2 times I've had warnings, I think a lot of it now is just bots, because the last 2 times I've, like, you know how you can like dispute it. So I've disputed it, and then in a week's time, they put my post back up. So I think bots sometimes freeze it, and then if you do complain, a real human actually looks at it and goes, "Oh, I can see what was going on here." It's like they're abusing me. I make a simple comment back, and I'm the fucking bad guy. It's like,
and honestly, they don't. Someone has to have paid to have gotten my account, because for someone to charge me that much money to try to get my account back, I'm like, fuck that. I'll just start another one. You know?
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's ridiculous.
I got the YouTube, and the YouTube's where a lot of my engagement and everybody who pretty much buys the merch and the supplements and everything. So
for $8 grand, I'll just get one of those banners behind the back of a plane flying around in Venice Beach. $8
grand.
Well, before we gotta start getting into some questions. But before we get into some questions, Lee, that's right. In the last episode we did together last week, I have to thank you because you came to my defense, which is what started that whole YouTube comment string. So I had said we talked about, one of my sponsors had dropped me. So we talked about me finding another sponsor, and somebody said, "Oh, your YouTube channel doesn't even have 2,000 subscribers. You're looking, you shouldn't have sponsors," something like that. And Lee wrote, he wrote, "Shut up." He goes, "You're watching a bodybuilding podcast with no muscles." Anyway, let's.
I said, so what are you doing here watching a bodybuilding podcast? By the look of your body, you don't even go to the fucking gym.
You know, fucking muscles. What the defeating the purpose?
All right, let's get into some questions. Here we go. Sal has a good one. Most underrated bodybuilder of all time. Dennis Wolf has 7 top 5 finishes. Doesn't get enough credit. I'll agree with that. He's definitely underrated. But what do you guys think? Get Stax. What do you think?
I mean, Dennis Wolf's a friend of mine, man. So
is he really?
Yeah. We've known each other for probably about 4 or 5 years. We met at Expo and chopped it up, and you know, we've had multiple encounters, hung out at the Olympia a few times. But yeah, man, I honestly think that he was definitely underrated. He was a monster, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if he would have stuck around, I know he had a surgery in his neck. I don't know exactly what the details were, but I remember if he would have stuck around like another 2 or 3 years during that Brandon Curry reign, I was like, there's a good shot that he would have won Mr. Olympia during that time, because he was good, and there was a real dip after Phil Heath left and Kai left, you know, and Brandon won. And Ramy wasn't hitting the mark. I think Dennis Wolf is underrated.
If I go back even further, though, he never turned pro, but he should have. Who was underrated was Edgar Fletcher. Now, there's a guy who probably should have had a pro card back in the day, but he just never got one. You know, it's like, but even like you probably could say, Kevin won a lot of shows, but when it comes to the Olympia, depends what show you're talking about. I always think Kevin maybe should have had an Olympia. Flex maybe should have had one. I don't really like him because he's a great bodybuilder, but a person who's a bit of a dick. Sean Ray, I think maybe he should have won the Olympia.
You know what it is? You run into, you know, I don't know what it's like, but could you imagine being that close, being number 2, and you're that close, and your whole life you're working to be Mr. Olympia, and like then Sean Ray runs into Dorian Yates, and then Flex Wheeler runs into Ronnie Coleman, and Kai Green runs into Phil Heath, and you're like, fuck, if this guy wasn't alive, I'd be fucking Mr. Olympia. That's gotta be frustrating. It has to be.
But the frustrating part is back then bodybuilders didn't make enough money to hire a hitman to take them out.
Yeah.
Hey, nowadays it's all politics, man. The more publicity you're going to bring back to the NPC or the IFBB pros, they'll give you first place.
Actually, that's a good segue, because I got some questions from Instagram. Let's see, let's go down the question. Fran is the man from Instagram. Where is that question? Oh, here we go. Did politics exist back when Lee competed, or was the judging always fair? I think politics was worse back then.
Yeah. What happened to Lee? Why did he?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think politics was worse back then when Lee was competing, in my opinion.
Yeah, because we had like the Wayne DeMille era, and on my new documentary coming out, they asked that question: Jay Cutler, Flex Lewis, Dennis, James, Paul Dillette. If Lee had kept his mouth shut, would he have won more shows and placed higher? And all of them said, yes, if Lee had just kept his mouth shut, he would have won more shows and placed higher. So I said, thank you for proving my point. Because I said, it shouldn't matter what I say, because I never attacked anyone personally. I attacked the organization in the way they treated the athletes. So if I'm on stage and I'm in condition, you shouldn't be fucking judging me on what I've said in an article or something. You should be judging me on my physique. So there was a lot of politics back then, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think it was worse back then, because back then there were times where, like, all right, I mean, you could, you know, the Jay Cutler, Victor Martinez Olympia. A lot of people thought Victor should have won that one. The Dorian and NASA. A lot of people thought NASA should have won that one. And now when Steve Weinberg is head judge, you kind of like, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, because you don't have a dominant bodybuilder. You don't have a dominant Mr. Olympia anymore. It's like you leave the door open a little bit, and they're going to give it away. They're going to give it to the guy who's better. We've seen that in the last, you know, 8 to 10 years or so.
I'm sure there's still a little bit
around.
What'd you say, Joe?
They've been passing that title around to everybody, man. I mean, people can't hold on to it no more. Mr. Olympia is Mr. Olympia for 1 year. And then you know, he's gone, and there's another Mr. Olympia. It's like no more 8-time running, no more, you know, Phil Heath, no more Ronnies.
I know. I don't know if we're gonna I don't know if there is another one. It'll be we're gonna have some time before we see that. Here we go. Thoughts on Sam Sulek being 10 weeks out from a I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, Sam will probably win his whatever NPC show. Because if you ever go to an NPC show, there's maybe a handful of good bodybuilders. But once he gets to a national level, he'll get his ass handed to him.
It'd be interesting to see when he's on stage, because like I said, you know, when you're bulked up by yourself and looking big, you look big. But when you're standing on stage and nothing posing trunks, it shows everything. You can't hide your weaknesses. So it's going to be interesting to see him actually on stage. Like, at least like even the Trent twins, they got up and did it. So I give them credit for getting up on stage and doing it. But to me, if I was Sam, like, okay, if he's got the passion to compete, that's great. But to me, it's like the Victor Richards, you know, it's always, if he can make so much money not competing, and then everyone always says, imagine if he did, what would he do? What would he do? And then you do, and you come last, people go, oh, he's shit, fuck him. We don't like him anymore. He's come last. He's a loser. You know what people on the internet are like. So I'd rather keep that mystery about me and not compete and just make money doing what I'm doing.
He's, from what I understand, he's making a fortune. What do you think, Stax? What do you think about Sam doing the show?
You know, Sam's always been like a freak. You know, he came out of the industry out of nowhere, and just with some cut dry videos, you know, that had no real editing and all this stuff. So I kind of watched the. I guess he's a kid, you know, he's a youngster, but you know, he's got a lot of horrible advice that he tells me. You know what I mean? I will say that, but you know, genetics do play a big part in the way this kid looks. At the same time, I don't know if he's totally transparent about what he takes, because I'm transparent, man. I share with all my followers all my stuff, my peptides, my gear, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have prescriptions. So
that's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I could be transparent with it and sell it and, you know, advertise it all I want. You know, it's my protocol. But, you know, I would be curious to know what he's taken to see, you know, how he's going to dice up. I don't know who his coach is. I know he had a real bad falling out with, what was the name of that company?
Hostile.
Man? Yeah, there you go. Hostile and all them. So I don't know who's coaching him. I don't follow him that much. But 10 weeks out on his first show, I mean, what is he going to do, a novice? And
exactly.
So he's going to crush all them.
You know right.
I mean? But on a novice stage, you know what I mean? Looking like him, it's like kind of not even, I guess the first show is kind of a joke.
I remember when he first started doing his videos, and what's his name, Nick Trigillian, everyone's like, this is such bad advice. Look what he's saying to eat. And I'm thinking, fuck, if we had the social media around when I was 16 to 21.
You were a fat bastard.
I remember you would have Church's chicken. You'd have a bunch of Church's chicken, or so you'd have chicken every time.
I was having Fruit Loops before the gym, fucking toaster strudels, fucking anything. It's like I had nothing that was fucking healthy in my teenage years. So I was drinking full cream milk, half and half milk on my fucking Cocoa Pops.
I think Sam is going to do the Larry Wheels thing. I think he's going to, like I said, he's at the NPC show. He'll crush it, and he'll get to the nationals, and he won't do so well.
I don't know, man. I didn't think Larry Wheels came in looking that good. You know what I mean? I thought he looked better. Just when he got all like, I mean, I just want to keep it real. Like I feel like he got freakishly skinny, weird looking.
Yeah, and when he especially when he did the classic,
it wasn't full enough. It's like somebody who wants to do a show, and you're like, bro, you just don't have enough muscle to cut down.
Larry Wheels gets on my nerves because it's like he really does, because it's like here's a guy who literally gets paid to figure out what the hell he wants to do with his life, and he can't. You know, he wants to be a bodybuilder, and he wants to do classic, and he wants to do powerlifting, and he wants to do strongman, and he wants to do arm wrestling, and then he talks about how he spends all his.
Let me tell you what it is coming from an influencer perspective.
Okay.
They're just looking to get in where they fit in because they don't know how can I get more followers from somebody else? Next thing you know, they're going to be fucking linking up with pro athletes trying to do a NFL workout, and then, try to get their follow. That's what.
So it's all about staying relevant.
That's kind of like why I separated myself from all that, because it wasn't like a genuine, like, what's up? Nice to meet you. Hopefully we could, be friends. It was more like, I'll put your name in my bio. You put your name in my whatever, and we'll just steal each other's followers. If it does well, maybe we'll do another video. If it doesn't, fuck it. I'll go on to the next guy, and it's just like work. And to me, that shit wasn't genuine. I wasn't even gonna come link up with you and get no workout with you. That's not how I work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. And then he bitches. He complains that he spent all his money on what is it? What are the webcam girls? And I'm like, really?
Well, I'm sick of bodybuilding, John. So don't judge me, John, when I start my pole dancing next week. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll get the views. I'll get the views somehow.
It's the truth, man.
I'm done with that. I'm done with those views.
I go head first and break my neck into the ground.
I'll be honest. Once in a while, I still go to the strip club. And I sit there and this is usually when I have like a rough day or a rough week, I'll just sit there and I have a few drinks and I'll just zone out.
Don't lie, man. You spend all your money on dances.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to say I don't spend.
They got some strength when you see them get to the top of the pole, just holding on by their legs. Then they slide and they stop that far from the bottom without cracking.
I don't go to nice strip clubs. I go to raunchy. I don't. You know, it's still, you know, like the girl that just gave birth and she's got to get back on stage. You know, it's really bad. You know, yeah. Oh, Lee, here's a good one. Here's a good question.
The strip clubs.
Yeah, definitely. I used to. There was this one spot not far from me. And there was this hole in the wall, and it got to the point. This was before COVID, and it got to the point when, like, I would walk in and I would go by myself. Stax. I don't go with anybody. I go by myself. The bouncer would let me in. He wouldn't even check me, and the bartender knew exactly what I drank, and I would just sit there and drink, and then sometimes I would get dances, sometimes not. But I'd make sure I tip all the girls that would come around. All the girls that would come around and make sure I tipped the bartender, make sure I took a bartender because I know they're working, right?
They love you.
Oh yeah, you're at work, you're looking to make money. I get it, so I tip. You know, I don't not tip, right? So I remember this one girl comes next to me. She sits next to me and she's trying to get a dance. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna get a dance. So you know, if you gotta, I understand you gotta make a living, you gotta work. You want to work the room, do what you gotta do. Don't waste your time with me because I'm not gonna get a dance. And she got and then she got offended and she goes, "Oh, I don't just come here to make money. I come here to have fun too." And I was like, well, you do this for free then? You got no scruples? Shit.
That sounds like my last strip club I was in. This would have been years ago. I was in Alaska and just sitting there because some of the strip clubs actually do have good fucking meals, like good steak dinners and stuff. So I
would never eat in a strip club. I would never eat that.
Like, we used to eat $2.99 steak and fries.
Yeah. I said, look, I don't want a lap dance, and she's like, how could you not want a lap dance? I'm attractive. I said, you're just not my type. And the bitch slapped me across the face.
Yeah, they get offended. They get fucking pissy, man. Maybe it's because the strip clubs that I go to. And I break them down to 3 types of strip clubs. Ready, Stax? There's the high end, like what Scores used to be, or Hustler in New York City, right? And then you know then I refer to them as blue collar strip clubs, where like the ones where it's like middle of the road. The girls are hot enough. The construction crew comes in after 3 o'clock, right? That kind of thing. And then there is just the raunchiest raunch, just the fucking yeah.
I don't go to those, John. I don't want to see what's going on in that.
I remember there was this
John
strip
goes
club.
to a fucking alleyway with a bulb flashing on and off in the alleyway.
Yo, I remember there was this
couple of crack whores in the alleyway.
Yeah.
Oh, strip club.
Oh shit.
Yeah. There was this one strip club in Staten Island called the Black Garter. I don't know if it's there anymore. It was a biker bar, and I used to just go there, right? And there was a girl there they called Mama, and it was this big fucking fat chick, and she had these giant natural tits, and she used to just come right over to you and just flop her tits right onto the fucking bar, right? And you just had to stick dollars in there, and it was just and she was Mama. She was like fucking 50 years old, with her nipples pointed straight down, you know. Yeah, it was you saw all like the. If you went there at a certain, like after 11, the Home Depot crew was there, like all the Mexicans that work at Home Depot, they would be there. You know what I mean? Good times, bro.
It almost sounds like the waitress that almost killed me at a restaurant. And when my food came, I swapped it with my mate because he took me to this restaurant in Playa del Rey called the Black Whale. And our waitress was this huge, obese black lady with big titties like that. And I said to my mate, I wonder if she's on it, having the name place called after her. And I didn't know she was standing right behind me.
Oh, shit.
She goes, I don't find that very funny. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, shit yourself. One more question, because I don't have that many, but one more question. We'll continue. But last question from Instagram. When did pro bodybuilders, again, is from Franz Demanda, when did pro bodybuilders start relying on coaches and gurus?
I think I'd say, well, as far as if I go back to the 90s, I probably think Chad Nichols was probably the first main one that people started using back in the day. I think because Chad was mainly coaching Kimmy's wife at the time when she was Miss Olympia.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Chad. And then maybe after Chad, I think Chris Aceto was with Jay Cutler, and they were probably the main two around then, because Harney back then, Harney used to train with me at Gold's Gym, and Harney didn't know anything, and Harney was just nothing. So I don't know how. Then it's like, I think all these pros come along, Harney gets them when they're already big established pros, and people start riding on the coattails of these guys who are already champions. All of a sudden, 100%. It's the guru that made them. It's the guru that made them. It's like,
yeah. You didn't have to put in no work for that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, I have a little bit of a different opinion. I think as an athlete, you can never learn too much. I think you're always learning. So the only thing is, like, we've talked about this before. If I'm an athlete and I need a coach, I'm going to try to get one of the best guys. Like, I'm going to go for an Aceto, a Farah, Hani, whatever.
But what about all the guys who did it? What about all the guys who did it without coaches?
Yeah, no, 100%.
I think, John,
in my opinion, I feel like those guys were the best.
Yeah,
they're in Lesia.
I never used anyone or had anyone. And I think, as you say, you can't learn too much. But I think, sadly, now with the internet, you can learn too much, because when you really look at it, bodybuilding, lifting weights, pushing weights, whether you want to do high reps, low reps, you want to get big, eat more calories, you want to lose weight, eat clean, do cardio. It's pretty basic, but sadly now, I think people are way overthinking it. It's like, if I never once thought, how do I build up this inner part of my chest or
There's a lot more drugs involved nowadays too. All different types of new drugs that coaches are recommending to people that you don't really even
insane amounts.
They're like, man, take this stuff for your thyroid, right? Like, why the fuck would you mess with your thyroid? You just need to do more cardio, and you need to maybe go 6 weeks as opposed to 4. You gotta work a little harder just to lean up. But I mean, drugs do not do good for your fucking organs in the long run.
It's like the ones that say, "Oh, Lee, how do I just work this part of my tricep?" I'm like, just how the fuck do I know? If you're doing push downs, if you're doing close grip bench, it's going to fucking work. You just can't work that part without working the rest of your tricep. It's like they're trying to do too much nuance type stuff. It's like, just do the basics, you can't go wrong.
And nowadays too, though, the machines, they isolate the muscle groups so well without injury. It's almost like you have a spot now without having to have a spot there. You don't have to risk injury. Especially
if you already have the muscle.
Well, I like machines too now, because I'm injured and my shoulder's sore. I get the 30-kilo dumbbells and I think to myself, what a fucking pussy. You used to warm up on this. At least on a machine, I got nothing to gauge it by, so I feel good.
That's too funny.
No, I fully get it. But the thing is, I think having a watchful eye and having somebody that kind of keeps you in check, and I think also too.
Rather than
that was called the workout partner.
Yeah.
Buddy, y'all competed for that extra 2 reps, and y'all went against you took your shirts off to see who was more shredded. Shit, I gotta diet more. I'm trying to get, and that was how we did it. We came in there with 3, 4, 5
and that's why I said that's all you need. As long as you got a good workout partner who's you're going to show up and train, and he's honest with you, he's not going to blow smoke up your ass and say you're looking good when you look shit. If you got just a good support team around you, that's all you need, because generally it's only those last few weeks of the diet when you fucking start. I said physically it's easy. Mentally it's when the mind starts playing games. You think you look shit. You think, oh, maybe I'll do this, I'll look better, and then you generally fuck it up. So as long as you got the support team around you to keep your mind on a clear playing field, that's really all you need. Because it'd be like if Joey or you come to me and said, Lee, give us a diet training. I don't know how your body reacts. I'm just going to write up a diet, I assume you know how to train. And then drug-wise, I could write out a cycle. But then I'm going to be like, couple of weeks, how you feeling? Okay, take this out, put this in. I'm just experimenting with you till I get something right. You can do that yourself. I don't know your body.
You got to be honest with me and tell me how you feel. You know what I mean?
I think there is something. I agree with you guys to a certain point, but I also think there is something to be said with guys like let's say Charles Glass, right? When you have Charles Glass is a great trainer to go to when you have a troubled section, like you can't get your shoulders rounder or your calves bigger, or you need more a quad sweep or lower back, and he has that education where he knows how to isolate and really work those parts. And I think there's something to be said by going to trainer.
And that's if you already got the muscle, because there's people who are like, I want to get this bit here, but it's like, but you don't have the muscle there to begin with to get that bit. It's like,
oh yeah, no. I'm talking like, you know, like when
tuning a fine-tuned athlete.
Right.
Hey man, you got to get on stage. You got to get bigger legs, bigger calves, better abs, or whatever the case is. Yeah. I mean, for me, I just looked at my weak points and I just fucking destroyed them. Yeah. So my delts were looking small. I got those fucking dumbbells and I did fucking, you know, I went down. I went 35s, 25s, 15s. I had 5-pound weights and I'm just, my shit is just lactic acid. And
I've done that. I used to do that with shoulders and legs, and every time I did it, I could always guarantee that some young kid would walk in the gym. Like, say I'm doing leg press, you got 10 plates on, and you're just stripping plates off. Now you're down to 1 plate, and you're barely pushing it. Some kid comes in and goes, oh, look at that fucker struggling with 1 plate. It's like,
they have no clue. They have no idea.
It's like a joke. They think it's a joke.
They have no idea. So what? Like, I go to a gym, and if I see someone that doesn't know what they're doing, that's one thing. But one thing that really drives me crazy, I refer to as the blind leading the blind. When you have somebody who has no idea what they're doing, teaching somebody how to do the worst thing, and it's just like, oh God.
I used to give advice. I used to stop and take time, you know, like to hey buddy, you're actually gonna hurt your back doing it like that.
Right.
Off all that weight, man. If I'm doing, you know, you see someone, you got the 35s and you're curling them, and then you see someone 20-30 pounds less than you with the 50s, and they're just swinging the shit out of
it's fucking hard.
I saw a kid throw one right into the fucking mirror. They came over there and they were like, you have to leave. And I said, man, y'all took it. They said he just broke that mirror last month.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't blame him.
It's like the time I was watching a kid once who was doing incline, and he had 3 plates on. He didn't look that big. I think, well, because sometimes there's guys in the gym who aren't muscular, but they're fucking super strong. So I'm thinking, I'll give him the benefit of doubt. He lifts it off and he only goes like this. And I'm watching him, I'm thinking, and I've just said, listen, mate, that's a good weight you're lifting, but if you maybe take a plate off and get a fuller range of motion, it'll be better. He just looked at me and goes, this is how Ronnie Coleman does it. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm
forget
like,
it.
Okay.
Wait.
See you later.
Lee, did you ever get this? This is great. Did you ever get, I used to look like you when I was your age?
Oh, God. I remember once I was in a store somewhere in Texas, and I think I was looking to buy a watch, and this lady goes, do you do bodybuilding? I said, yeah. She was like a black lady. She goes, oh, you've got big arms, but my son's arms are twice your size. Really? I said, oh, say hello to Ronnie. I said, say hello to Ronnie when you see him for me.
Yeah, twice your size. Cool.
You get that, Stax? Like, I look like.
It's funny you say that because we were talking about this, me and my videographer, and I tell him, I said, how come everywhere I go, like, it doesn't matter if I'm getting groceries at the store, the person's like, yeah, I'm about to start getting back into it. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, I'm going to start hitting the gym again. And I'm like,
okay. I used to look like you.
Home Depot, the same thing. You know, the guy's like, yep, about to start getting it, waiting on the new year. Gonna bring it back. I'm gonna get
I used to look like you, but I stopped, and now look at me. It went to fat, so don't stop. Otherwise, you like me. I'm like, what the fuck?
You were top 5 in the world. Yeah, that's great.
They tell me I'm gonna turn this into muscle.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how it works, buddy.
You know, this was the best. This was the best one I've ever had. This was fantastic. After the holidays, you know, you have that rush for the first 2 weeks, right? Everybody, new year, new me, all that bullshit. So there was a guy using a pec deck. He was an older guy. He kind of had a dad bod, and he wasn't sitting down on the pec deck. He was standing up, and he was moving it, and it was much too close to his body, and he was kind of coming down. It was really horrible for him. So he stops. I don't like to interrupt somebody if I'm going to help them. I don't like interrupt it during the set. So he stops, and he's got his hand. He's like leaning over, and his hand is on the machine, and he's kind of huffing and puffing a little bit. You can see he's struggling. He's new or whatever. And I said, dude, you want me to show you how to do that? You know, you might want to do it, you know, whatever I said. And he goes like this. Nah, don't worry about it, man. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. He just threw in the towel right there. He's like, fuck. I was like, and I never saw him again after that. I was like, all right.
Always get how about the one where, you look good, but if I took what you were taking, I could look like you.
Oh, that's
yeah.
That's that easy. It's that easy.
That's great too. Yeah, that just blows me away. Or yeah, my son looks like you. You know, he goes to the gym. He's into. It's just like, God damn it! No, give me a fucking break.
It's pretty funny, man, because like people, you know, hey, you know, so and so, you do YouTube? Yeah. Well, my son, he works out. You know, I'm like, oh, cool. Tell him you met Joey Stax today. Next thing you know, I'm getting a DM. Man, my mom said. And I take a picture with them or whatever. The wife takes a picture and takes it back to her husband.
That's pretty cool, though.
I used to get people mad. I used to get people mad at me when they would say that if I took steroids, I could look like you. I'm just like, no, you couldn't. But I said, if I stopped training and get stage 4 cancer, I could fucking look like you.
That's actually really good. I'm going to use that. I'll probably use that.
Use AIDS, use any type of wasting disease.
Yeah. I got fat guys at work that come over to me. He's like, John, how could I lose this stomach? And I'm like, stop eating, you fat bastard. What do you want me to do?
When you're eating healthy, you always find the fat people, if you're working with them, ask you every time, what are you eating again? What are you eating? What are you eating that for? And it's like you tell them, then they keep asking the same fucking question. Oh, what are you eating now? Chicken and rice. Oh, what are you eating that for? I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I know.
I went to like a barbecue with some family and some friends. Hopefully he's not watching this. But yeah. So a guy comes up to me, you know, I got my sunglasses on and I'm kind of hanging out. It's Sunday, it's relaxing, got the kids running around. And every time I see this guy, he's not family, he's a friend of the family, but he said, all right, Stax, take off your glasses. And I'm thinking in my head, it's outside, it's all sunny. I'm like, no, I'm going to leave my glasses on, I tell him. And he's like, okay, leave your glasses on. He's like, what do you think about using me for your YouTube for like a transformation? And I'm like, you know, and I'm just I'm just like a real dude. So I'm like, I put my glasses on and I look this dude dead in the eyes. I say, all right, man, you want me to do a YouTube based off of you, right? And your transformation, because I said, right now you're drinking a Coke and whiskey. And I was like, what gym do you go to? And he said, well, I ain't got a gym membership. I'm like, so you don't even go to the gym? I go, how many times a week do you work out? Well, I haven't started working out yet. I said, so you want me to make you go get a gym membership and start having you work out when you can't even work out on your own without me there? I said, you know, and I had to shut him down right there.
Yeah. You want me to waste my time, my effort, my money, and my energy on something that you might last a week at.
You ain't even got a gym membership. That shows your dedication, right? I got friends of mine that at least have gym memberships, pay for them every month, and they never go. But at least they have a gym membership. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, even if you don't have a gym membership, walk around the block, do some push-ups, do some chin-ups at home.
Seriously. I say that all the time. You don't have to go to the gym, but you gotta say that again, Joe.
I'm saying like nothing you can do for somebody if they can't want to do it themselves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I tell people this all the time. Like, you don't have to go to the gym, but find something you like to do. Like if you like biking, if you like, you know, running, you like any kind of, you know, CrossFit, MMA. There's so many things you can do.
Eating food, John.
That's it. That works for you apparently.
I try to tell people, man, the easiest thing that I can tell people, I say, look, man, you want to lose some weight, quit eating bread, quit eating tortillas, quit eating all that starchy bullshit, and stop eating carbs after lunch. And that's like the easiest way you can start losing. Like you ain't even got to start working out yet. You can
impossible for them.
Carbs. You can just eat double chicken and veggies, no rice, no potatoes. You
A
know,
nice chicken or steak and salad or something.
Yeah, steak, double steak. I mean, I tell them you can eat all the meat you want with veggies, but no, and they look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, they have no clue.
Like,
one of my favorite meals was just like a big T-bone steak and a couple of eggs on the plate, and that was it.
That's a good meal right there.
Now everybody's on Ozempic, and that's what everybody's jumping on.
Have you seen that? They're putting fucking 5-year-olds on it now, and they're finding most people on it. If you come off, it does something to your system, and they're gaining more weight. So now they're saying 5-year-olds that are going on it.
It's simple Herbalife bullshit type. You know, you substitute the food for shakes, and the next thing you know, I lost the weight. I'm going to get back to eating food, and then they blow the fuck back up because they've had so many fucking shakes instead of meals that now their body can't handle food, and they just blow up again.
I just don't understand. Listen, if you're really overweight, if you're extremely obese, if you're 400, 500, you know, if you're, and you have to lose weight, I can understand the Ozempic shots and what you know, whatever the case may be. I kind of could get it, right? Because if you're diabetic, if you have heartburn, cholesterol, all right,
health issues, yeah, for sure,
yeah, right. I kind of get it, but if you just jump on the shots of Ozempic because you want to lose 20 pounds, it's like, come on, man. Yeah. Give me a break. I mean, think about what the Ozempic injections actually make you feel full. So you are so lacking of discipline that you know you have to stop eating, but you can't stop eating. So you need a drug to make you feel like you're full, so you stop eating. And
it's not even that
like everyone's looking for that magic pill, the quick way. And like I said, I've been around the world. We all know. There is no quick fix. It takes hard work. It takes dedication, consistency. There is no magic pill that's going to help you lose weight. Yes, they're like, you can use fat burners, clenbuterol, but you still got to do the training. You still got to do the cardio.
You go back up if you don't diet all after. Like, you can't just take clean. And a lot of people just take clean. They don't cycle up and cycle back down. So it fucks their body all up. You don't just start taking drugs because this is a fat burner. And people are like, okay, I'm going to take this. Next thing you know, you're suppressing your appetite. You feel all, you're fucked up.
Remember when all those carb blockers come out and it was the craze that people I can still eat pizza, but just take these carb blockers, and they're all shitting their brains out because.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Like,
I don't have to I just take it and it blocks the carbohydrates, and they fucking run into the toilet.
I totally forgot about that. There was a girl that shit in the tanning salon I used to go to when I competed because she was taking those I forgot what drug it was back in the day. Whenever it was 15 years or whatever it was, and it used to make you, whatever you ate, you would shit. And she shit in the fucking tanning bed. I remember the girls were freaking out.
How could that be good for your body? Because if everything you eat is shit out,
whatever it takes, guys, whatever it takes. If you got to shit in the tanning bed, then stay skinny. Then God forbid you shit in the tanning bed.
Yeah, next time I'm just gonna say stick your fingers down. Yeah. I'm just gonna say go throw up. Stick your fingers down your throat. There you go. Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable, man.
Like kiss supermodel and taste and bile.
Honestly, yeah, man, I never understood that. I was the smallest guy forever, and until I went to prison. I was 4'11". I weighed 110 pounds.
Damn,
bro, I was small, man. I got a thing coming out on HBO.
Really?
Yeah, but nevertheless, what was I gonna say? So I was the smallest guy, man, and after doing 2 years, I kind of put on some size. I went from 110 pounds to about 160, 170. And I got out another year after that, and I came out about 175, 180 natural. Wow. Obviously, I love the working out part, so I came back, to I don't know what it fucking was, a $10 a month gym at the time, and I thought, fuck, if you can't pay $10 a month for a fucking gym every day. So that's what I did. I worked construction, started training, started training until, obviously I started taking some super subs. I started taking gear and stuff like that. And that's when I really started to put on all my size, man. I went from being natural till I was probably about 27, 28 years old till, taking tests and trend and other Stax and stuff that I started taking. And man, I went to like 195 from 170, 175 in like 30 days. Like fucking, it was insane.
And that's funny when I always tell people too, the basics, body weight, exercise, and basic movements, because a couple of times I did a couple of seminars in prisons, and some of the physiques I saw in prisons, I'm like, you could fucking compete in a bodybuilding show, and all they're mainly doing is push-ups, chin-ups, sit-ups.
Yeah.
Some have weights, some just lift water bottles or fill pillowcases with shit and lift.
Yeah, that's what we did, man. We use resistance from body. It's mind to muscle connection in there too. I would do 3,000 push-ups a day in there. Sometimes I do 1,000. Like people are like, "How'd you get your back so big?" Because I'm a small guy and I got a cobra fucking back. I told him, man, I grabbed the fucking TV stand that's hanging and mounted in the wall, and I would just pull myself up all day. Like if I could get fucking 5, I get 5, and then I just walk around. I go hit some table push-ups. I go hit some regular push-up. Go back to the TV. I'm doing fucking circles in a huge fucking metal tin building for 6 fucking years.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people don't realize how important doing pull-ups, push-ups, dips. I always incorporate those into my workout. Like
look at young kids today. You can see a kid who weighs 160 pounds. He can't do 5 chin-ups of his natural body weight. But yet I see him swinging 300 pounds down on a pull down. I'm like, mate, if you can't pull your own body weight up of 160, but you got 300 pounds.
You shouldn't be pulling it down either. You shouldn't be pulling it down that much.
Yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable. But so Stax, can you talk about the HBO thing you got coming up, or that's confidential?
Nah, I can't, man. I actually shouldn't have said nothing. But
all right, no problem. All right, forget it. No big deal.
Right.
But Lee's got a biography coming out.
Nice.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's going to be they say Prime's really hard. They do different things, but I should have the preview by the end of this week to send you, John. But then if not, it's going to go to, they're going to put it on, is it Vimeo, whatever. I don't fucking Vimeo. And then to Amazon Prime. But Amazon Prime has lots of rules, restrictions, and blah blah blah. Who knows?
Yeah, really? That sucks.
I guess I don't have any trans people in it or whoever, so I don't cover it.
Yeah, you got to fill the woke quota. Yeah, that's what it is. Yo, did you see that kid? I don't know who he was. He went to an LGBTQ parade, and he went up to a girl, like a biological girl, right? And she had the shirt on, and she was all.
I was the one he was asking about being a man or something, and she's like, I'm a woman. He's like, so what's it like being, once you're a man, now you're a woman? She keeps saying, but I am a woman. He's like, oh, that's nice that you.
That's right. He's like, he goes. So, what was it like when you transitioned? She goes, no, I've always been a woman. He goes, I know, of course, we're fully supportive. You've always been a woman. And it was, but he did it with dead straight face. Man. It was fucking great. It was fucking great.
And she's like, I'm not a trans woman. I'm a woman. He's like, oh, that's great that you can drop the word trans and just accept that you're a woman. And she was getting so fucking mad.
Yeah, she was getting pissed off. There's a lot of good shit like that on it. It's fucking unbelievable. Gentlemen, Joe, once again, brother, thank you. I appreciate Joey Stax for coming on.
Appreciate you guys.
What is your where you can get your supplements, your gear, your shirts? What's the website?
All my merch and everything's at staxarmy.com. You can find the supplements too at staxarmy.com, but I also have staxsupplements.com.
Staxarmy.com. I'll make sure that's in the description.
What's that? What? Oh, so Lee?
Does it have the word Army too on the shirts?
Yeah, it does, right here on the bottom.
Good. I'll have to get one of them because that'll look good driving my military Humvee around.
You let me know where to send it. I'll send it on the house, Lee.
No, I'll pay for it.
Actually, I sent you a shirt.
I'll make my wife work overtime to pay for
it. Oh, man. Yeah. Lee stays home, collects sponsor money, and his wife goes and works all day. It's unbelievable.
Hey, that's my plane money.
You're fucked
That's
up.
too funny.
All right, gentlemen. Listen, thank you very much for doing this with me. We will do it again soon.
You gonna beat the Arnold, Joey, or?
I wasn't really planning on hitting any expos. When is that, Arnold?
I know I'll be there with Jim Reapers. I think it's 28th to the 2nd of March. 28th of February to the 2nd of March.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I might make it to the Arnold then, man, because last time I went to the Arnold, I had a good time. So
the time before last, I was there, and I got weighed on the scale. I got my height taken, and I was exact. I didn't put on some fucking performance. I still don't get why these guys just don't get on the scale and get weighed and get your thing. It's all in fun. Fucking just
100%. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you got to lie about that kind of shit,
I know.
Man, you got some serious issues, man.
But I was telling John back in the day with Muscle Mag, that Steve Neese column in the back of Muscle Mag, he used to come into Golds and do that. He would bring a tape measure and go around, how big are your arms? I'd say 21. He'll put out a tape measure, let me measure it. I'm like, okay. He's like, you're right. But so many bodybuilders are like, oh, no, I'm carb depleted today. I'm like every fucking excuse.
One more inch if I would have ate my meals.
I don't understand you could just I don't understand why that's so offensive.
It's a fucking pissing contest, you know.
It's ridiculous, man.
To me, you know, at some point you got to grow the fuck up and realize it doesn't really matter.
It really doesn't.
Okay,
like even if
you forgot me, you're 6 foot tall. I could give a shit less.
Like even if you say you're 250 and you get on and you're 235, you go, oh, sorry, I was wrong. Like I don't know why that's such a fucking problem.
I'm not at the doctor's office.
And as I said, it's weird sometimes because you see these big, grown, muscular men, and they act more like women than fucking women do half the time. I'm like, bigger fucking men.
They got to get their hormones checked, man.
Fucking true. Before we go, I got to shout out some quick. Sorry, Lee, say that again.
I said they must be getting the fake gear.
Yeah, they're taking too much estrogen. I gotta shout out some sponsors before we go. Lee,
SAS 10.
That's right. SAS 10. American Dash subs for all my European bodybuilders. 10% off. Our discount code is SAS10. If you are in the States, please go to staxarmy.com or you go to I Prevail subs. That discount code is SN. That's the N sign, S10. Novoxidil. All these links will be in the description area. Novoxidil, male pattern baldness, discount code JOHN, and Beer League Warriors apparel. Discount code 30% off. 30% off all gym wear on Beer League Warriors apparel. BLW30. Nobody's giving 30% off. That's pretty goddamn good. Even I would fucking go buy it.
I just looked. You're up to 1.8. You're going to hit the 2K subs soon. So you'll be allowed.
Holy shit.
You'll be allowed to have sponsors, according to that other cunt that always keeps running these.
Yeah, that's right.
No sponsors right now, John. No sponsors.
Yeah, no sponsors. Yeah,
they don't want nothing to do with you with only 1.8K thousand people.
Jesus,
I gotta start going to some expos and starting trouble like Joey did, so I get some fucking followers. Jesus Christ.
Where's my knife at?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do.
Hey,
shit
every time I go to the expos, they're always like they see my crew coming. And they always meet me at the door, and they're like, "Joey, we're not gonna have no trouble this time." I'm like, "Why y'all all on me? Look, I'm an innocent bystander and all."
Yeah, I'm just having fun, man.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
I'll chop it up with you on Instagram.
I used to get that when I was in trouble with the IFBB. Lee, you're not going to cause problems. I'm like, I just come here and be myself. If somebody asks me a question they don't like the answer and they start shit, what's that got to do with me? I'm just walking around having fun. But then
fun,
when I was suspended for like all those years, almost 8 years, they wouldn't even let me into an expo. Even in Australia, couldn't go into.
Yeah, I remember.
Stop me at
really?
the door.
Yeah, they did him dirty, man. They did him dirty. That's why he was never in the IFBB, man, because they did him dirty.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let you go to the expos?
I had friends competing in IFBB, and they wouldn't even let me in the door to watch my friends compete.
I used to watch Lee I've been watching Lee for a long time, man. And I remember when all that happened to him, it was like a huge industry. Like, what? They fucking banned Lee Priest from coming to any expos.
Yeah. I didn't know it was that bad. I thought it was just competing.
Nah, they did him dirty, man.
Holy shit.
I said, why can't I go to an expo? I said, you got other people going to expos that aren't members of the IFBB and that, or because you're banned for life. I said, but I'm a paying person. If I buy a ticket, why can't I come in? It's like such bullshit.
Did they ever give you a reason?
No, because they're the IFBB.
Wow.
Is it still like that, Lee?
No, I can go to the expos now, but I had to get into good graces because I wasn't allowed to do podcasts with Dave, and that MD had to, like, all my sponsors, they made them dump me. So when I was trying to come back, I had to do Dave spoke to the Manions and them. My first podcast I did with Dave had to send that to the Manions and them to get approval to see if I could come back. So it was like,
really, how were you making a living if all your fucking sponsors dropped?
It was probably like 2 decades.
Yeah, I still had a couple of sponsors around here in Australia and stuff like that. So, but it's like I said, look, I at my heyday, I was probably making close to 20 grand a month in sponsors. Wow. When they all dumped me, I went to 4 grand, and people were like, oh, that's a big dump. I said, yeah, but still back then, I could still go to the gym. I had a roof over my head, food on the table. So it's like, I'm not bending over kissing anyone's ass. I can still do what I want to do on 4K. I'll build my way back up again. So fuck them. I'm not kissing their ass just to get back in.
Man, I remember when all that was going on. That's crazy.
I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fucking...
But even it's funny because he mentions it now, because even when Jay talks about things now, on my documentary, he goes, how he kept quiet because he goes, I wouldn't be outspoken like Lee. And, you know, Jay and I were friends, and when I was suspended, he was part owners in Max Muscle with a friend of mine. He came out to Scottsdale where I was living in Gold's Gym. I saw him coming. I'm like, hi, Jay. And he just walked past me. I figured,
really?
Okay. I thought, I'm short. Maybe he didn't see me because I'm short. So he's coming back again.
No, it's the politics. I remember when
hello again. He ignored me. And I spoke to my friend Scott. He goes, did you see Jay there? I said, yeah. I said hello to him twice and he ignored me. He goes, that's weird. He goes, I'll ask him. So he asked him, and Jay goes, yeah, I saw Lee, but it wouldn't look good if Mr. Olympia was seen talking to a suspended athlete. I'm like, what?
Jesus
Christ,
man. That's so fucked up, man. That's so.
Hey, but that goes to show how they have those guys like scared.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention names, but like I said, my documentary is coming out. That's about me. I wanted Wayne DeMille on it because, you know, Wayne used to run the IFBB. He suspended me a few times. He started that new organization that I went to, so he could fill in all these different stories. But let's just say there's a few people on my documentary who said they wouldn't be on it if Wayne DeMille was on it because they'd get in trouble. And I'm thinking, but you guys aren't even competing anymore. It's my documentary. It's not your documentary. But if Wayne was on it, they refused to be on it. So
I don't understand how you can go through life and like just be that afraid to just say anything or keep
it real
or be near be near somebody that is outspoken, or like if you're my friend, you're my friend. That's it. I really don't give a shit. I don't fucking
well, in bodybuilding, you'll find someone will be your friend to your face, but when they're with this group, he's an asshole. Yeah. It's like they change personalities to fit whatever group. I've never been that way. I'm like, I am who I am. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. It's like, that's it. It's like,
wow.
And I'm not going to sit here and let you talk shit about somebody that I shake hands with.
Yeah.
If you're talking shit to them, I'm going to politely tell you, like, hey, that's a friend of mine.
Right.
Or I'm going to, hey, just to let you know, this dude's over here running his mouth about you right now. What you want me to do? How do you want me to handle this? You know, like, it just depends on what level of friendship we are.
Right.
Here's a funny story. A guy once called me from the gym in the States when I was living back in Australia. He's like, Lee, do you know such and such? I'm like, never heard of the guy. I said, why? He goes, I'm at the gym right now, right beside him, and he's talking to 4 guys saying that he used to live with you. And he walked in the bathroom one day and you're sitting on the toilet with syringes in your legs. I'm like, what? I said, put him on the phone. So my friend hands the phone to him. He goes, hello? I said, hello. He goes, who's this? I said, you should know it's your fucking old roommate that was sitting on the toilet. He hands the phone back to the guy and he fucking took off out the gym. But he was standing there.
That shit dramatic as fuck.
Syringes. It's like he was making up this bullshit story and these young kids were believing him. It's lucky my friend was there to hear it. It's just like, what fucking crap.
That's fucking believable. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much, fellas. We'll do it again. I truly appreciate you guys coming on. Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. Like, share, subscribe. Joey Stax, Lee Priest, thank you again. Later, fellas.
Thank you. Take care. Nice talking to you.